After everything he achieved, Hakeem Olajuwon no longer moves toward noise, praise, or approval. The chase ended a long time ago. What replaced it is control, days shaped by strict routine, disciplined faith, and a deliberate distance from attention. The arenas have gone quiet. The applause has faded. But what remains is not absence. It is structure. It is intention. A man who chose order over spectacle, purpose over performance. This is not retreat. It is authority expressed differently. Let's step into Hakeem Olajuwon's life today, and we will begin the journey right now. This was a journey that did not begin under arena lights, but with discipline. Born on January 21, 1963 in Lagos, Nigeria, Hakeem Olajuwon grew up in a household where order was non-negotiable. His parents, Abik and Salim Olajuwon, ran a cement business that demanded precision and responsibility every day. As a child, he did not chase attention. He stood in goal on the soccer field, learning positioning, timing, and restraint, foundations that would quietly shape one of the most dominant forces basketball has ever seen. Basketball entered his life late. While attending the Muslim Teachers College, Olajuwon joined a local tournament almost by accident. The transition was not smooth, but it was decisive. His size, coordination, and instinct for space stood out immediately. Soon after, he left Nigeria for the United States to play for the University of Houston. After redshirting his freshman year, he emerged as the Cougars' sixth man, earning the nickname The Dream for a style that looked effortless, fluid, and strangely calm. By his sophomore and junior seasons, Olajuwon had become the center of Houston's identity. He led the Cougars to back-to-back NCAA championship games in 1983 and 1984. The titles never came, but his dominance was undeniable. In 1983, he was named NCAA Tournament Player of the Year, a recognition that confirmed his arrival on the national stage. In the 1984 NBA Draft, the Houston Rockets selected Olajuwon first overall. His impact was immediate. The Rockets' record improved sharply in his rookie season, and he finished second to Michael Jordan in Rookie of the Year voting. 1 year later, Houston reached the NBA Finals after winning the Western Conference, eventually falling to the Boston Celtics. Olajuwon had already become the franchise's anchor. By the late 1980s, he was the undisputed leader of the team. In the 1988 to 1989 season, he led the league with 13.5 rebounds per game. Even when the Rockets struggled collectively, Olajuwon continued to evolve. He led the NBA in rebounds and blocks, recorded a rare quadruple-double, and refined his passing game, averaging a career-high 3.5 assists in the 1992-93 season. That same year, Houston posted a franchise record 55 wins, and Olajuwon finished second in MVP voting. The defining years arrived in 1994 and 1995. In 1994, Olajuwon led the Rockets to the NBA title, defeating the New York Knicks in 7 games and delivering Houston its first major professional championship in more than 30 years. He averaged 26.9 points per game and became the first foreign-born player to win Finals MVP. That season, he achieved something unmatched in NBA history, winning the league MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, the championship, and Finals MVP in the same year. The Rockets repeated as champions in 1995, sweeping the Orlando Magic. Olajuwon averaged 27.8 points and 10.8 rebounds, finishing the finals with a dominant 39-point, 17-rebound performance. He was once again named Finals MVP and stood alone as the team's all-star. In 1996, Olajuwon joined the U.S. Olympic team, known as Dream Team 2. Playing alongside legends from the original Dream Team and Shaquille O'Neal, he helped secure the gold medal, adding an international chapter to his career. The final years were quieter. After declining a $13 million offer from Houston, Olajuwon was traded to the Toronto Raptors in 2001. Injuries limited his impact, and after one season marked by career-low averages, he retired in 2002. He left the game as the NBA's all-time leader in blocked shots with 3,830, an ending defined not by noise, but by permanence. Hakeem Olajuwon did not dominate through force alone. His career was shaped by patience, control, and constant adjustment, qualities that would later define the life he chose after basketball. It is within that quieter life, far from arenas and expectations, that his discipline finally settled into a permanent home in Texas. Mansion in Texas. Hakeem Olajuwon's home belongs to a chapter that began only after everything had already been achieved. When the NBA ended, the need for noise disappeared with it. What followed was a different priority: structure, faith, and a life that could hold weight without an audience. That shift is visible the moment one approaches his residence in northern Houston, Texas, set deep inside a quiet, low-traffic residential area where privacy is not a feature, but the foundation. The property sits on 1.8 acres of land, large enough to erase the presence of the street entirely. Trees form a natural perimeter. Lawns stretch wide and uninterrupted. The distance between the road and the house is deliberate, allowing the space to breathe before it ever reveals itself. From the outside, the architecture is unmistakably American in its restraint, broad, grounded, and built to last. There is no attempt to impress at first glance. The house does not rise to be noticed. It settles to endure. With a total living area of 8,500 square feet, the interior opens gradually rather than dramatically. High ceilings allow light to move freely, but the layout keeps the atmosphere contained and calm. Spaces connect with logic, not excess. Hardwood floors carry movement from room to room, while neutral tones and clean lines reduce visual noise. The house feels organized, disciplined, designed for continuity rather than spectacle. The central living area functions as the emotional anchor of the home. Seating is arranged for conversation, not presentation. Built-in shelving, soft lighting, and open sight lines encourage the day to slow naturally. This is a room meant to absorb long evenings, quiet discussions, and moments of reflection. Nothing competes for attention. Everything supports presence. The kitchen and dining space reflect a different kind of intention. Renovated for daily use, the kitchen balances modern appliances with warmth and functionality. Wide countertops, clean cabinetry, and thoughtful lighting create a space designed for routine rather than performance. Meals here are not events, they are rituals. The dining area flows easily from the kitchen, reinforcing a sense of family rhythm rather than formality. Private areas are set apart with equal care. Bedrooms are spacious but restrained, offering comfort without excess. The primary suite functions as a true retreat, quiet, isolated, and balanced. Its ensuite bathroom emphasizes calm through proportion and material choice, prioritizing ease and recovery over luxury display. The effect is restorative rather than indulgent. Beyond rest, the house accommodates purpose. A private study and work areas support focus and order. Entertainment spaces, such as the game room and upper-level gathering areas, introduce movement without noise. Wide staircases with iron railings guide transitions between levels, reinforcing the sense of structure that defines the entire home. Outside, the property reveals its final layer. The backyard unfolds into a private landscape shaped around water, stone, and shade. A custom swimming pool sits low and organic, bordered by natural rock. Nearby, a hot tub and covered pavilion extend the living space outward, allowing evenings to settle gently under warm lighting. Brick surfaces, palm trees, and open air turn the backyard into a place for recovery, not display. Valued at $3.5 million, the house reflects measured decisions rather than impulse. It was not acquired to announce success, but to protect stability. Over time, its value has grown in parallel with Olajuwon's post-NBA life, carefully managed, disciplined, and forward-looking. This Texas mansion is not a reminder of what Hakeem Olajuwon once was, but a reflection of who he chose to become, grounded, disciplined, and fully in control of his own pace of life. If it were you, would you want to live in a house like this? Share your thoughts below. And now, let's continue to Hakeem Olajuwon's car collection to see which cars he owns. Car collection. Hakeem Olajuwon often appears behind the wheel of a Cadillac Escalade, a vehicle that carries presence before it carries motion. Large, upright, and unmistakable, the Escalade fills space without needing to announce itself. Valued at around $100,000, it is built to hold weight rather than chase speed. Inside, the ride is calm, insulated, and steady. This is the car he uses on public days, appearances, commitments, moments when his name still draws attention. The Escalade allows him to arrive composed, visible, and unhurried. At other moments, Hakeem Olajuwon chooses a tighter posture. The Mercedes-Benz G-Class moves with a different kind of confidence. Boxy, restrained, and quietly imposing, it projects strength without decoration. Priced near $140,000, the G-Wagon is about control and boundary. The doors close heavy, the cabin feels contained, and the outside world stays at a distance. This is a vehicle for privacy, for moving through the city without explanation. Here, he isn't representing anything. He's simply moving, grounded, deliberate, and left alone. Together, these vehicles reflect how Hakeem Olajuwon chooses to live today, steady, contained, and free from excess. Nothing here is meant to impress. Each car simply supports a rhythm shaped by discipline, experience, and a life that no longer needs to move fast to feel complete. That same sense of control also shapes how Hakeem Olajuwon built and managed his wealth today. Income and net worth. Hakeem Olajuwon today controls a truly astonishing net worth, a massive personal fortune that has climbed to $300 million. It is, by any measure, a shocking figure, one that surprises even long-time followers. This total was built patiently through structure and restraint, first on the court, then quietly beyond it. Over an 18-year NBA career, Olajuwon earned approximately $110 million in salary. His income rose steadily as his role and influence grew, peaking in the 2000 to 2001 season, when the Houston Rockets paid him $16.7 million, equivalent to nearly $27 million in today's dollars. These earnings did not arrive in dramatic spikes. They accumulated through consistency, durability, and relevance across nearly 2 decades in the league. In 2001, Olajuwon declined a $13 million contract extension with Houston and was traded to the Toronto Raptors. The final season of his career unfolded quietly. Injuries limited his production, and he earned an estimated $6 million before choosing to retire in 2002. By then, basketball had already fulfilled its financial role. What followed was a second career shaped by patience rather than visibility. Over the past 20 years, Olajuwon has transacted in more than $150 million worth of real estate, concentrating largely on the Houston market. As early as 2006, a New York Times profile estimated his completed acquisitions at over $100 million, well before his strategy became widely recognized. He focused on properties positioned near future infrastructure, stadiums, highways, transit lines, places where value would arrive with time rather than hype. One defining example came in November 2006, when Olajuwon purchased a 41-acre tract of land near NASA's Johnson Space Center. The site was later developed into a retirement community, ultimately reaching an estimated value of $25 to $30 million. Over time, his holdings expanded to include parking garages, apartment complexes, commercial buildings, and single-family residences. He acquired Houston's former Federal Reserve Bank building and converted it into a mosque, then later purchased the city's former World Trade Center building near Minute Maid Park, an asset now estimated at $40 to $50 million. Every acquisition followed a single rule: no debt. Guided by Islamic financial principles, Olajuwon does not borrow or pay interest. This discipline minimized exposure during market downturns and allowed his portfolio to remain fully owned, stable, and insulated from volatility. While others relied on leverage, his assets were allowed to grow slowly, securely, and without pressure. Today, roughly $110 million of Olajuwon's net worth traces directly to basketball earnings, while an estimated $190 million reflects long-term real estate appreciation and reinvestment. The money did not arrive loudly. It settled into assets designed to endure rather than impress. What ultimately stands out is not the scale of Hakeem Olajuwon's success, but the clarity behind it. His financial life reflects a mindset shaped by discipline, belief, and long-term thinking, where decisions were made to last, not to perform, and outcomes were allowed to mature quietly over time. From that structure, he moved into giving naturally, quiet, deliberate, and shaped by belief rather than recognition. Philanthropy. With Hakeem Olajuwon, generosity never arrived as a separate chapter. It grew alongside his life, shaped by faith, routine, and a belief that impact does not require attention. In Houston, one of his most meaningful contributions took form through architecture rather than announcements. Olajuwon purchased the city's former Federal Reserve Bank building and transformed it into a mosque, an act rooted in permanence. The acquisition and conversion are estimated at $5 to $7 million, creating a space that functions daily as a place of worship, learning, and quiet gathering. The building carries no branding, no public narrative. It simply exists, serving its purpose. His support extends beyond a single location. Over the years, Olajuwon has contributed to Islamic schools and community centers across Texas, focusing on stability rather than visibility. These contributions, covering scholarships, operations, and facility maintenance, are estimated at $1 to $2 million, distributed gradually and without formal recognition. His connection to Nigeria remains steady but understated. Through local organizations and trusted community channels, Olajuwon has supported education initiatives and basic healthcare access in underserved areas. These efforts are rarely documented publicly. Based on long-term involvement, his contributions in Nigeria are estimated between $500,000 and $1 million, spread across multiple years. Closer to home, Olajuwon's philanthropy often blends into his real estate work. In Houston, several of his developments include support for affordable housing, food access, and community services. Some contributions are direct, others embedded within projects themselves. Together, these efforts represent an estimated $1 to $2 million invested back into local neighborhoods without formal labeling as charity. There is also the giving that leaves no financial trail. Olajuwon regularly mentors young athletes and students, particularly those navigating discipline, faith, and identity. These conversations happen privately, without programs or press. When measured against comparable initiatives, this time and guidance represent an estimated value of $300,000 to $500,000. Across decades, he has also practiced private giving aligned with Islamic principles of zakat and sadaqah. These donations are intentionally unrecorded and unannounced. Conservative estimates place this quiet stream of support at $1 to $3 million over time. In Hakeem Olajuwon's case, generosity never interrupts his life. It runs parallel to it. The giving does not stand apart as an achievement, nor does it seek completion. It simply continues, steady and unobtrusive, woven into routines that were never designed for an audience. From there, the story moves closer to how Hakeem Olajuwon structures his days in private, personal life. Today, Hakeem Olajuwon lives a life defined by rhythm rather than recognition. His days begin early, shaped by routine and restraint. Mornings often start with prayer and quiet reflection, followed by time devoted to health, light training, stretching, and careful movement that respects a body once pushed to its limits. There is no rush here. Time is organized, not filled. Houston remains his center of gravity. The city that carried his basketball legacy now holds his private world. He moves through familiar neighborhoods without ceremony, keeping his presence low and his habits consistent. When he appears outside the home, it is usually for faith-based gatherings, community moments, or occasional interactions with fans who still approach him with respect rather than noise. Family anchors everything. Olajuwon spends much of his time with his wife and children, favoring meals at home and unplanned conversations over scheduled appearances. Evenings are often quiet, shared dinners, discussion, reading, and reflection. The pace is deliberate, designed to preserve connection rather than accumulate activity. Faith continues to guide how his life is structured. Prayer is not an interruption but a framework. It shapes how he plans his days, how he manages stress, and how he measures success. Discipline, once expressed through footwork and positioning on the court, now appears in consistency, showing up on time, maintaining balance, and staying grounded. Mentorship remains a steady thread. Olajuwon regularly speaks with young athletes and students, especially those navigating identity, belief, and responsibility. These conversations are private, unannounced, and often informal. He listens more than he speaks. Guidance is offered without instruction, allowing others to arrive at clarity on their own. Despite his stature in basketball history, nostalgia does not dominate his present. He rarely revisits old games or moments. The past is acknowledged, not relived. What matters now is alignment, between belief and behavior, between structure and freedom. Hakeem Olajuwon's legacy now lives beyond achievement. It resides in the rare discipline of a man who allowed success to dissolve into character, and character to shape a life lived with calm authority. Which part of Hakeem Olajuwon's journey lingered with you after the story ended? If this way of telling lives matters to you, your support allows these stories to continue. Stay with the channel and keep walking alongside us.